Welcome to the Acousticsamples VReeds electric piano overview video. Just like for the V tines in the B5 organ, we combined synthesis techniques and sampling to achieve a high level of playability and tweaking while maintaining a realistic sound. This allows the VReeds electric piano to weigh only 70 megabytes and to truly sound like a Wurlitzer electric piano with all of its imperfections, while having a fully continuous response, as well as a highly tweakable sound and a very natural response. We'll demonstrate this in our video a bit later on and explain all of the tweaking possibilities. So first of all, there are people that prefer the 200 models, and others the 200A. The differences between these two models are slim, but still give a different character. Instead of choosing one or the other, or creating two libraries, we decided to include both. The 200 model was produced 6 years before the 200A, and the main differences are the thickness of the reeds and the amplifier. The 200A amp produces much less noise and a slightly different tone. The 200A reeds are slightly thicker than the 200 ones, and this explains why the 200 barks more and creates more overtones at lower velocities. There are other differences in terms of how they're built, but they're not as important, and in the case of a virtual instrument based on real samples, all of them are included anyway. Here's a demonstration of how our technique that combines sampling and modeling is useful. First, as you can see, it loads very quickly. That's because it's only 70 megabytes, and 1/3 of that is the HD artwork. Second, here's a sequence played from velocity 1 to 127. As you can hear, there are no velocity steps, and the response is 100% continuous. Plus, you can completely change its response in the preferences, and it will still be continuous. Another very important aspect is the release part of the sound. On traditional sample libraries, it's very hard to precisely use release samples without hearing unnatural samples popping out. And to prevent that, the release volume is usually lowered or the crossfade time is increased. But to us, when the release sounds like a fade out, it's as bad as having it too loud. Our model allows for extremely accurate staccatos. Listen to the comparison between a sequence played on a real Wurlitzer and the one on the VReeds electric piano. We carefully reproduced the modulation shape of the original vibrato circuit. On the original 200, the vibrato rate is fixed, but just like the common mod, we extended the vibrato capabilities and added a rate control which can be linked to the tempo. Wurlitzers can be recorded through the direct output, but also by miking its built-in speakers. On the 200 and the 200A models, there are two small speakers on each side of the front plate. On the 206 and the 206A beige models, there's a bigger speaker cabinet below the keyboard. We captured both of these options in both mono and stereo, and we allow for a mix with the DI signal so that the VReeds electric piano fits perfectly in your mix. Wurlitzer pianos are often used with effects, so we created an effects panel with the most common ones, each of which is one of the very efficient and high-quality effects made by UVI. A real Wurlitzer electric piano can be customized by removing its top, and with a simple nut driver, you can adjust the angle and distance between the reed and the pickup bar, or bend the pickup bar to change the tone. It's exactly the same on the VReeds electric piano, only you don't need the nut driver. You can adjust many different parameters for each note, for all notes, or using a mapper for each parameter. Here's an example of a good way to make the VReeds electric piano more mellow in the same way that you would do it on a real Wurlitzer. Every keyboard has its own MIDI response. Our MIDI remapper allows you to adjust the response of the VReeds electric piano velocity by velocity if necessary. And we created a tool that does it automatically by analyzing what you play. Just repeat a few linear velocity repetitions, and it will be all set and ready to play. Alright, that's all for this video. You can get the VReeds electric piano at acousticsamples.net. Thanks for watching.